Today's video features one of the most powerful and influential artists to come from the South. A physically imposing performer measuring 6'1" and 220 pounds with a harsh yet expressive voice capable of conveying pleasure, confidence, or heartache. This performer brought a passion to his singing that only a handful of his peers could equal. He was also a great songwriter with a deep awareness of the recording process and creative potential. The subject of today's video is all about the legendary Otis Redding. Before we start today's video, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. On September 9th, 1941 in Dawson, Georgia, Otis Ray Redding Jr. was born. He is the fourth of 6 children born to Otis Sr. and Fanny Roseman, as well being the first son. His father was a sharecropper and an employee at Robins Air Force Base who also preached in local churches on occasion. His family relocated to Tyndall Heights, which is a majority black community in Macon, Georgia, when he was just 3 years old. He grew up singing in the Vineville Baptist Church choir, where he learned how to play the guitar and the piano. He began taking drumming and singing classes by the age of 10. In high school, Redding participated in his school's band. Redding attended the same high school as Little Richard, which was Ballard Hudson High School. Every Sunday, Redding earned about $6, which is about $76 in today's money, by singing gospel songs for a radio station in Macon, Georgia called WBPTV. He also won a weekly talent show for teenagers 15 weeks in a row. Now during these 15 weeks, Redding earned about $75, which is about $955 in today. Growing up, Redding idolized Little Richard and Sam Cooke. At the age of 15, Redding dropped out of high school to assist his family financially after his father contracted tuberculosis and was frequently hospitalized. Because his father was unable to work, his mother was a primary source of income for the time being. Redding assisted by working as a well digger, gas station clerk, and of course, a musician. Gladys Williams, a local pianist, was an inspiration to Redding. She frequently performed at the Hillview Springs Social Club, where Redding occasionally played piano for her band. After dropping out of high school, Redding joined a group called the Upsetters, a band that supported Little Richard. By the age of 18, Redding met a 17-year-old Zelma Atwood at a teen party. The couple struck it off, and 1 year later, the couple welcomed their first child. They were tied a knot in 1961. In the interest of furthering his music career, Redding relocated to Los Angeles with his sister in 1960, leaving his family behind in Macon, Georgia for the time being. In LA, he refined his songwriting skills and joined a band called the Shooters. She's Alright was initially written for the Shooters, but it became Redding's debut hit. Redding soon returned back to Macon, where he formed a band with guitarist Johnny Jenkins called the Pine Toppers. During his time with Jenkins, Redding also worked as his chauffeur. Otis Redding and the Pine Toppers released a few songs early 1960s, including Getting Hit, Gamma Llama, Shout Bama Llama,
Down in Alabama, I'm shouting Bama Llama. Way down in Louisiana,
and Fat Gal.
she's not very big, she's not very tall, but every time she moves, she have to wiggle when she walk up back.
One day, Jenkins was approached to record some tracks for Stax Records a few months after these releases. Jenkins was having a bad day during the session and he wanted to end it with 40 minutes remaining. Redden was well aware of how difficult it is to secure a recording session, especially from a major label. Redden recommended that they attempt one of his tunes with Jenkins on guitar. Now this last minute 40-minute session spawned Redden's debut hit, These Arms Are Mine.
Lonely and fielding.
Stax executive was so delighted by Redden that they immediately signed him to Vogue Records. Redden got right to work, but these singles failed to create an impression, which was slightly disappointing. These songs was Hey Hey Baby,
Hey, hey, pretty baby, you show it time.
That's What My Heart Needs,
And I'm down on bending these roads, baby. That's
Merry Little Lamb,
everywhere that Mary went. The lamb.
Pain in My Heart,
Oh, where can my baby be?
and Something Is Worrying Me.
He's driving in misery. Oh.
In 1964, Redden released many charted singles like Come To Me,
For I'm lonely, dog.
Security,
Yeah. And I want it at any cost. Oh, now.
Chained and Bound,
Because you got me chained and bound.
and That's How Strong My Love Is.
Well, I'll be the moon when the sun goes down.
By the end of 1965, his last two songs began receiving a lot of radio play, giving his name a buzz, which led to many more songs to chart, like I've Been Loving You Too Long,
To stop now.
Just One More Day,
Can't get you off of my mind. But
I Can't Turn You Loose,
I can't never turn you loose. If I do, I'm gonna do.
and Respect.
Baby, you got it. All I'm asking for a little respect when I come home.
Redden was becoming more ambitious as an artist about this time, focusing on his songwriting abilities and learning to perfect the guitar. Also being more engaged in the arrangement and producing of his recordings. Redden established himself as a hard-working performer, touring regularly and ensuring that he outperformed every artist that was on the same show. He was also a great businessman, running and thriving a music publishing firm and investing in real estate and the stock market. In 1964, he published his debut album called Pain in My Heart, which peaked at 147 on the Billboard Top 200 charts and number 2 and number 20 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. That next year, he released two more albums, one in March of 1965 with Otis Redden, Sing Soul Ballads, which peaked at 147 on the Billboard Top 200 charts and number 3 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts, and Otis Blue, Sing Soul, that was released in September of 1965 and peaked at number 75 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 1 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. Redden was so gifted that he allegedly recorded both of these albums in one single day. By 1966, Redden had recorded a fiery cover of the Rolling Stones song Satisfaction with his own spin.
Sean, I can't get no satisfaction.
That same year, Redden was honored by the NAACP and performed at the Whiskey A Go Go on Hollywood Sunset Strip. Redden was the historic venue's first prominent soul singer to perform there. Redden's popularity grew as a result of this publicity surrounding his visit. Later that year, Redden and many other Stax and Vogue musicians were scheduled for a package tour around the UK. When they arrived, they were received like legends, but Redden was the star when he arrived. The Beatles personally sent him a limo to pick him up. During his tenure in the United Kingdom, Redden was treated as a star. The British music magazine Melody Maker rated him as the greatest vocalist of 1966. Now this was significant because Elvis held this title for the last 10 years. Redden was also part of the Soul Clan, which included Solomon Burke, Wilson Pickett, Don Corvée, Joe Tex, and later Arthur Conley and Benny King. They planned to combine their talents and resources to become a positive force within the black community. They envisioned purchasing and renovating black real estate, generating employment, building schools, and establishing black-owned restaurants, franchises that will compete with McDonald's and KFC. That same year, Redden released 2 more albums, with the Soul album that peaked at number 58 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 3 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts, and Complete and Unbelievable, the Otis Redden Detection of Soul that peaked at number 73 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 5 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. On these 2 albums, Redden explored it with contemporary pop tunes as well as classic favorites in his signature soulful style. That next year, he recorded 2 additional singles with My Lover's Player and Stax Records released a duet album with Carla Thomas called King of Queen that peaked at number 36 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 5 on the Billboard Top R&B Album charts. For the rest of 1967, Redden released singles such as Try a Little Tenderness,
Try a little tenderness, yeah, yeah.
I Love You More Than Words Can Say,
Beside you,
Shake,
round there, and I'll tell you what, it's putting them down, move your body all around. If I do now, I would surely, I got to lose up now.
and Gloria Love.
That's the story of.
Redden easily took any stage he stood on, gaining masses of fans wherever he went. Between the mid to late 1967, Redden recorded 2 albums with The Dock of the Bay and the immortal Otis Redden. These albums was not released until 1968. Redden and his band did a stretch of Midwest gigs in December of 1967. Unfortunately, on December 10th, 1967, Redden and his band boarded a Beechcraft H-18 plane that was bound for Madison, Wisconsin. The weather was bad with heavy rain and fog, yet the plane took off despite the warnings. The plane crashed 4 miles into their destination, killing everyone on board except for Ben Colley of the Bar Keys. Redden was only 26 years old at the time of his passing. Redden and his wife had a total of 4 children, who formed the band named the Reddens with their cousin and was managed by their mother. According to sources, Redden made around $35,000 a show, which is approximately $353,000 in today's money. Redden's success enabled him to purchase a 300-acre ranch in Georgia, which he dubbed the Big Old Ranch, for an estimated of $125,000. Redden held his own publication, thus his performance, music publishing company, and royalties earned him a lot of money. It was believed that he made more than $1 million in 1967. He also sold more albums that year than Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin combined. Redden was a family man who enjoyed sports, even considering starting a black youth summer camp for disadvantaged kids. Redden was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1989, the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1994, also receiving a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1999 and was also inducted to the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in August 17th of 2013. Redden was also dubbed as a King of Soul. Now this title was also given to the likes of James Brown and Sam Cooke. Despite his brief career, he remained a well-known name and character in soul music, influencing numerous of legends such as Al Green, Etta James, William Bell, Aretha Franklin, and Janis Joplin, to mention a few. Before we head out, let me ask you one question. Who do you think is the true King of Soul?